actually getting rid of the ball. So the drill we would do next is called the push drill. Okay, so the ball's blowing in your hands. Let's have one person right in front of that green chair, right up there. Stop. Good. Good. We'll just need one ball for this for now. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the ball in our hands, like about on our belly. Okay, and our hands are in that perfect triangle every single time they're on the ball. What we're going to do is we're going to do the footwork, which is always left, right, set. We always end with left, right, set. And the ball goes up on our hairline. Left, right, ball on our hairline, and all she's going to do is extend her arms. I do not care at all how far the ball goes. Okay, let's see. Left, right. Good. Okay, don't worry, we'll fix that. Let's see. Left, right, push. Okay. I want both of you to slow down. Okay? And I want you to keep your hands on that angle that you set the ball. Because Bree, what you do is you set it and then your hands go straight up like this. I want them to stay on that angle, whatever angle that is. Go really slow. Hold on. I'm going to demonstrate real quick. This is how fast I want them doing the drill to start. So ball's out there, on their belly. Left, right, push. Ball basically just falls out of their hands, their arms are completely extended, and their hands are in the triangle. You guys see it? She goes up and then brings her hands back. Go ahead. Anybody see something that Janae's doing? She's not extending her arms all the way. What she's doing is she's doing this when she sets. I want arms completely extended. Real? Closer. Now what I would do with Bree, extend. Good, that's better. Okay, I would actually insert myself in her space again. Go ahead. And I would put my hand in the way, or my arm in the way so she can't bring them back. What happened was she tried to bring them back there, she felt my arm, so she went one falling forward. Okay, got it? Let's do it again. Extend. Good, that's better. When you extend your arms all the way, it gives the ball tempo. Okay, tempo means that ball looks like it hangs in the air longer. Okay, the example that I do for this, I'm going to toss two balls to Janae. Okay, the first one I'm going to drop my hands down really fast and not extend my arms. So it looks like this. Okay, now this one, I'm going to go in the same angle, but I'm going to hold my hands up and watch what happens to the ball. Okay, it looks like it slows down and stays in the air longer. The height really didn't change all that much, but the tempo of the ball did. What we want to do is we want to set a ball with good tempo over time. That's created by extending the arms and staying on that angle and holding those hands up. This makes the ball drop, this makes the ball die. Okay, so go back up. Right? Uh-oh. See it? Okay. And even though both of these players, I mean, they're both good setters, this is a drill that they both need to work on quite a bit. Okay, it's this fundamental of my arms extend at the same speed every single time. Alright, go ahead. Good. Good. Left, right, push. Alright. You're just changing the angle. You start like this and then you come up and it just makes the ball over. Okay. Good ball. Okay, so the next part of this drill, we would add a little baby toss to ourselves. Now, when I say baby toss, I mean very, very, very tiny toss. Kids think that this is a baby toss. That's not. This is what I would like in this drill. So I start with the ball on my belly again. My hands are just kind of under the ball. In my hands, extend. Okay, so it's a baby toss and the ball comes in. Then I extend my arms. Go ahead. It's not quite set. Oh, it's not quite setting yet. Okay. Slow down. Setting already. Slow down. Another that was better. Another way to talk about this is catch push. Catch it, then push it. So catch the ball first, catch it, push. That's good. Very nice. Catch, push. Oh. You got it. You got it. Catch. Good. Push. Nice. And then what we do is we just teach them to catch push faster and faster and faster. Okay, so now this time catch push, we're doing a little faster. Catch push, good. Catch push, good. So you can see that that is close to setting what Janae just did. Might be called a lift, might not. Okay, but it's close, and then the next one go right side. Okay, so catch push for you, still. Catch push. Now it's good. Now it's much better. The most common mistakes from setting come from being aggressive with the ball, meaning that I'm not allowing the ball to come into my hands. Okay, I'm extending my arms before the ball's in my hands, which is going to lead to double contact. The other mistake is the one where you're just simply not in position. The ball's not on your hair. Okay, so it's probably the two most common. Good. Next part of this drill, go ahead and set. Left, right, set. Good. Hold those hands out. Nope. We're still catching and then tossing to ourselves. Catch, toss to yourself. Catch it in position, though. Catch it in position. Good. Toss to yourself. Catch. Push. Good. Toss to yourself. Catch. That's it. Good. And then what I would do next is I would take their feet out of it again. Okay, and I would go to regular settings underneath. Okay, put your hands up. Make sure they're pointed towards the ceiling. I'm going to toss the ball right in her hands. She sets it. So it'll look like this. Well, extend your arms. That's what I mean. Okay. So I'm really controlling the toss. She doesn't worry about feet. She doesn't worry about body positioning at all. It's just allowing the ball to come in, extending my arms. Okay, and then we do the same thing standing. And then we would do, finally, after that, we would do the full motion. Fancy footwork. Okay, so when you're setting and you're working with a setter, what we want to do is we want to go left, right, set every single time because that's ideal. Okay, so it's left, right, directly towards my target every single time. Or for setters, we always square up outside. Okay, to our left side attack. Even if we're going to set the right side. Okay, so I square up to my left side attack, and then if I'm going to set it to my right side, it's literally a side set. Okay, almost every single time I look like that. Almost directly to the side. You need to push it back a little bit, or one of the biggest mistakes that setters are making, and you'll see this, they come off the net to the 10-foot line, and they think they can push it back, and then that ball is way off the net every single time. Okay, it is a side set. You can get them to square up outside. Everything back is now a side set. So it's actually probably a little easier. It's also the ball that's always open. When you're running an offense with a setter, what you're concerned about are their blockers, first and foremost. Okay, so their blockers, you come off the net, their blockers usually release and go outside. So that back set, or the set to the 9, is almost always open. With our settings, we'll talk about feet in a minute. We're going to have to get everyone on the same page as far as a offensive nomenclature. So what do we call the sets? We're going to do it really, really easy. Okay? The left side antenna is number 1. The right side antenna is number 9. And if you want a set, you call what zone you're in, and that's it. It'll be a high ball delivered in that zone. So the ball that is in this 3-foot area is a 1. Move inside, it's a 2. Move inside, it's a 3. The 4 is pretty close to the middle of the court. The 5 is right in front of your setter because your setter stands in zone 6. Okay, so there is no 6. Then right behind the setter is the 7, the 8, and the 9. The hand signals for all of these are very, very simple. 1 through 5. No 6, no 3, about 6. 7 is a 7, it's just upside down. Okay? We don't use an 8 very often. And 9, we usually just kind of do this. We pound our fists together instead of going 9. Okay, so 9. The faster sets, we use letters for them. Okay, so again, when I'm in zone 3 on the net, so zone 3 is right here. A 3 set would be delivered right above my head, nice and high. Okay? This The height of the sets. Ideal situation, okay? All of the numbered sets are just above the top of the antenna. Just above, okay? All of the faster sets are whatever height your hitter attacks at, that's how high they are above the net. Okay, so if you have a hitter that attacks the ball, let's say that they touch near 10 feet, which is the top of the antenna, and they want to hit an A, it's going to look something like this. They're going to contact the ball in zone 3. Okay, so why don't you stand in zone 3, Bree, go behind us, you can swell. So when the ball is in zone 3, it needs to be in their attacking zone. Back up. Okay? And remember, they touch near the top of the antenna, so their fast set is going to look something like this. Okay? They will take that ball while it's above Janae, up near the top of the antenna and hit it. When we set those fast sets, it is not this. Okay? That is too fast. We don't need it to be that fast because the blockers won't even close on the first one. Okay? And then what has to happen if you're going to run your offense set fast, your setter has to be amazing and put the ball in the exact same spot every single time. That set does not allow for any adjustment from the hitter. The first one, tiny adjustment at the end that they could make if they need to. Okay? And the same thing is true when we set the beginning scene. Okay, so the B is going to be straight up. Okay, that was for a player that touches near 10 feet, that was pretty high. C, same thing, right behind me. Okay, and then the J, it's going to be down. It's going to be about the height of the antenna and get to the antenna on the J. Okay, we don't want the J to look like this. That is too fast for our hitters. Okay, and it's very difficult for our setters to set that ball consistently versus allowing our hitter to chase it a little bit, catch up to it and hit it. Okay, we'll still be able to beat the defense on the first one. Okay, behind the one, let's say the one. It's going to look something like this. Okay, and instead of getting all the way to the antenna, that was a little inside. So that's the height of the one. The 2 is the same height, the 3 is the same height, they just keep moving in a little bit. So the timing gets a little faster for the hitters. Questions about the numbers for the sets, the letters for the sets? When we run out of the back row, it's red, white, and blue. Okay? And it's as if the center is looking at the hitters. So it's going to be red, right side, white, blue. Okay, that's an easy way to remember. Red is always right side. Red, white, blue. Questions about the numbers? Okay, let's talk about the setter's footwork again. So today's going to be okay. Bree's going to be target. Ideally, when I start with my setter training, I just have them move forward. And I make it easy for them by standing right in front of them. Okay, so she's going to move forward, she's going to go left, right, set, she's going to set one outside, right, up, left, right, set. Okay, one thing that I like that Janae does is Janae moves through the ball. So she's moving when she contacts it. She's moving up and out, so she keeps moving when she's done. Versus a lot of setters, I see them do this. They'll go left, right, they'll extend their legs, and then they'll come back this way, back onto their heels. Okay, that makes that ball drop inside. Okay? Let's talk about ideal again. It is ideal to not move your legs at all when you're setting. If you are strong enough and you can do this and send it all the way outside, that is ideal. That is exactly what we want. But I don't know a single player in the club that can do it right now. Because you have to be really strong in your upper body. You have to have really good hands to do it. They will need to use their legs to set. When they do, we want to make sure that they stay in the same plane of motion versus changing it by doing this. If they're moving up and forward, they keep moving up and forward, which means they're going to step through. shank at them really fast, they can make a play. If they're already like this, now they have to turn to help to make a play. Also, if I'm facing my passers and I need to go that way, I can step to the left very easily. If I'm facing like this, it's a much more difficult move because a lot of centers want to backpedal on this ball. What they should do is they should open up and run that way. But if I'm already facing like this, they're just going to run. Okay, so when the center is starting, they should always face their passers. Okay, so I'm just using the analogy even more. Okay, I notice she's facing me, which is great. I still toss in front of her. The next thing I would do, okay, so that's easy. You're just moving forward to set. Okay, then I'm going to give them the ball again. And they're going to work on footwork coming out of an angle. Okay, so what they're going to do first is they're going to pretend the ball's actually totally close to them. A lot of young setters really like to be off the net because a lot of their passes get passed off the net. We always start on the net. And the reason we start on the net is because now she has to move all 4 directions. If she's on the net, she only has to move 3. Okay, so she always gets to the net and stays there until the ball's passed and then she goes. Okay, so start here. Now what we're going to do, we're going to pretend that the ball is actually right here, which is about 1 step off the net, but in front of her. Okay, so she's going to step with her right foot first, and then she opens the ball's here. You have to sit there. Yeah, and then pivot, left, right, center. Left, right, center. Okay. So what we're teaching them is to get around the ball and make sure that their last 2 steps are directly towards their target. Okay, so the ball is here. My first step needs to be behind it, and then I can step to it and through it. Okay, so I'm always doing left, right, set directly towards my outside. Okay, and what we do is we practice all of the angles. So let them push the ball back. Just ball in hands, on belly. So go right up, that's on the other end. Yeah. So right, left, right, set that left, left. Right, left, right, set. Start. What I would have her do is I would have her start at a 45-degree angle for, maybe less than that, maybe about 30. So 30 degrees, so you're going to go that way first, and then square up. Then you're going to go 45, then you're going to go, nope, then you're going to go 60, and then you're going to go 90. But 90, you're actually going to go backwards first. Okay, so right, left, right. Okay. Let me do it real quick. So the first one looks like this. So it's right, left, right. Second one, it's going to be right, left, right. Now we're going to go further. Right, left, right. Okay. Now we go to the side. So it's right, left, right. Good. And now the ball that literally gets passed straight to the side of you, you have to go back first. So it has to be right, left, right, push. Okay. Not down. Not down. Same drill. Right. Other right. We'll right about our hands. Put the arm beyond. There we go. Good. Nice. So it's good forward. Change the angle a little bit. Right. You change the angle a lot. That's fine. Okay. And I don't at all care about how the ball's coming up right now. I'm just watching your feet to make sure your feet are correct. Right? Yep. Left, right. That's good. Next. Feet perfect. Do the ball straight to your side. So I asked the first one. Where should you be starting? Good. Go. Wait, let's go. Right. Left, right. What I would normally have her do is kind of progress along like a normal, almost like a clock backwards. So she's going to start straight ahead. She's going to work her way from 3 o'clock to 1 o'clock to noon to 11 to 10 to 9. Not switch. And then the same thing would happen with the toss. So So she's going to toss to herself. It's a coordination drill also. Okay, we're going to go. Okay, toss to your head, right, okay. Little angle. Right, left, right. Uh-oh, where are your feet that time? Where are your feet? They were square, correct. They were where you said this. You said that was square. Right, left, right, go. So again, they progress through from 3 o'clock all the way back. Fancy footwork. Okay, the fancy footwork is when we set off on 1 foot. Okay, where they would do something like that to set. The biggest part of setting that has to be square your shoulders. Okay, so as long as you get those shoulders square, your feet can do whatever they have to do. Okay, so ideally, yes, again, left, right, everything is square to your outside, that's great. But if you have to do a move something like this, where you set off with 1 foot, I want to get my shoulders square, my hips will follow, and I kick my leg out to slow myself down. Okay, it's like figure skating. So figure skaters, their arms are in, they spin really fast. Their arms are out, they spin really slow. So when I do this move, let's say I come off the net, and I'm on 1 foot, square to my target. Versus if I were to do this, if I were to come out and sit up with 1 foot, this, my shoulders are square, and I'm going to wind up facing the net when I'm done. Okay, so to stay square, you got to kick that leg up. Advanced move. You can set off your right leg. Okay. You can also set off your left leg. That's a little more difficult of a move and not used as much often. The same concept applies. Kick that leg out so you stay square versus keeping it in the air and use your balance. Jump setting, very, very important. The way I teach jump setting is simple. Come on out. The first thing that we have to learn is how to be in the air when we catch the ball, so we play hot potato. Okay, you have to be in the air when you catch it and when you release it. Forward. Well, they're setting it right away, which is great. But for younger kids, I would just have them catch it. So, pretend. For younger kids, yeah. We're just going to be in the air. We're just going to pass it down. If we get in the air. Oh, see? Not as easy as it looks, is it? Okay, here we go. There we go. There. That? Yeah, Jimmy's got it. Okay. Because a lot of times the younger kids in particular, they are going to be on the ground and they think jump setting is when I jump when I'm done. Jump setting is when you're at your highest point and that's when you contact the ball and get rid of it. Okay, so teaching us this fun little hot potato game teaches them to be in the air and still do something. Then we would do it where we would have it above our head.
Catch it over?
Yeah, catch it above our head. Yeah, you'll wind up setting it like this. That's fine. That's fine. You guys can set it. Go ahead. But when they're jump setting, we want to make sure, like that one, Jillian was actually on her way down when she was setting, and that's going to take power away from the ball. We want to be at our highest point every single time. That moment of stillness when we contact that ball, when we're jump setting. Okay? I would say one of the things that they both need to work on is getting the ball on their hairline. Okay, because that's why this drill is going crazy right now. They're jump setting, that's great. The ball's down here like this and they're chucking it at each other. Or it's back here, so it's spinning and going up and short. Okay, so getting that ball on their hairline every time. The footwork is the same when you jump set. It's left, right, jump, set. Other questions about technique of setting? So feet, arms, hands, delivery of the ball, the extension portion of it. We didn't do back setting it. Back setting. We're going to be in good setting position, so our right foot is forward, legs are bent, hands are up, okay? And we want to stay in this position as much as possible. We want this ball to go back by using our shoulders to make it go back versus using our hips. So throw your hips forward, okay? We don't want that, okay? It's very easy for the blockers to read, and it's, again, movement that we don't need. Okay, if we can get this ball to go out by using just our shoulders, that's exactly what we want. Okay, so you're going to stress shoulders and finish with your hands behind your head. Pretty good, pretty good. And your body is staying relatively balanced. That's really good. That's again. Hands behind your head. Good. Shoot your in for a little bit. With younger players that aren't quite as strong in their shoulders, they're going to need to. A little bit. They'll probably have to throw forward just a little bit to get to go back. That's fine. Also, with some of our older setters, let's say that the play is developing very fast. Okay, it's serve receive, and I'm running forward, and I can get to it, and I can do that, taking it all the way back to the other antenna. Go for it, it's wide open. Okay? So, ideally, yes, just use your shoulders to set. If you have to use your back because you're a younger player, or that situation calls for it, it's okay, it's just not ideal. What else about back setting? When I teach back setting, the easiest place to back set from is the ball that's literally straight in front of you. Okay, because the ball is moving this way. We're simply letting the ball continue that way. The most difficult ball is the one that comes from over here that you need to set back. Because you have to completely change the momentum of the ball and the angle of the ball as well. Okay, so let's do this first. Hands up. Okay, no feet. Okay. Go. Ready? So. Forward. There, that's better. Good. So I would do that, and then I would move a little bit this way, then I would move a little further, and then I would move further. I wouldn't go back there with her. I might with Janae, but not with her. Okay, that's just a really tough ball to have it come across as changing. Back setting. The way we get to deliver that ball to each zone, so let's say it's zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 9, is simply by changing the angle of our arms. So we're going to pretend that Janae's at the net. Okay, she's standing in zone 6. Okay, put your hands up, extend your arms. That looks like a 3. Okay, what I'm looking at right now is I'm looking at the angle that her arms are making with her body. Okay, this ball will extend up and probably land right about here, which is about a 3. Okay, so I should be able to tell as a coach what she's setting by this angle of her arms. Okay, if she wants to set the 1 is going to be just a little bit lower. Okay, the 9 is opposite. Okay, but you can see the angle here. This ball is going to go back because the angle from her hands to her shoulders is behind. This ball continues up in that direction. Okay, so it's about this angle more than anything. It's staying on that angle, which gives the ball tempo. Okay, if she were to set that 1 and then drop her hands, that ball's going to drop really fast. So you set it and you hold, so set and hold on that same angle. Okay, good. Other questions about the technique of settings have a little more to do with running an offense next. Yes?
So we're coaching mostly for upper body strength to get outside. So if they need to use their legs to get outside, is it better to coach legs or to build strength for the upper body? So conditioning wise, or
What I would do with players that don't have a very strong upper body, when they're in a match, I would tell them they have to use their legs. Like, use your legs, make that ball go all the way outside. I would give them homework every single night, and the homework would be push-ups. Or they actually make, they're like exercise balls, and weird enough, they're the exact same size as a volleyball, and they weigh 5 to 8 pounds. Okay, and what they learn to do is they're not going to set this because maybe when I was younger, maybe I used to set my bowling ball. And yeah, that was very intelligent to do, but it was a little too heavy, and my friend and I were setting it back and forth and whacked himself in the head with it. I mean, it's what we did, but this is probably a little safer. And we actually aren't setting it. What we're going to do is we're going to do the push drill with this drill. So do the push drill. Remember that. Okay, so the ball's in their hands. It starts on their belly. Okay, up and push. Okay, this works on shoulder strength more than anything. They're extending their arms, it's triceps and it's shoulders. Okay, go ahead. Try it. Extend. Good. Guys, your goal is to launch it. Like get as high as you possibly can in the air. That's better. Okay? So that's what I would have to do. She is, but she's also exploding with her arms, so it's going to be both. Okay, and the weight of this ball isn't a lot to engage your legs. It's more going to be shoulders and get rid of it. Go ahead and do it without your legs once, see what happens. No legs, keep your legs bent. Oh, keep your legs bent. Difficult, yes? But this is what I would do with players that aren't developed with their shoulders yet. Okay, but then in a game, use your legs, get that ball to go all the way outside. That's what I want. That's awesome. Okay. When they're using their legs again, like we talked about earlier, make sure that they are extending in that same angle that they want that ball delivered. Versus a lot of times what players will do, they want the ball to go outside. Their hands go like this, and their legs go like this. Okay, that's two planes of motion. Their legs are going up, their arms are going out. There will be no tempo on that ball. What we want is okay, they're going on this angle, so my legs need to go on that angle too. And I'll wind up following through. Good question. Very good question. Other things about the technique of setting. When the ball is close to the net, first of all, we're going to have our back to the net, so that the only directions we have to move are forward and up. And what I don't want to have happen is all of this stuff that setters do. What I want them to do is I want them to stay square and go up to get the ball. Once the ball gets to their right, that's when they start twisting. If they can cut it off while it's still above their head, that twisting will be eliminated. Okay, so if it gets, think about it like this. So let's say, come on over, you're going to be the net. Give me the ball. Nope, stay right here. Here's the net. Okay. Here's the ball. Okay, if Janae wanted to set this ball right now, she's going to have to do some kind of twist or something to get her hands on it. Okay, versus if she's here already, she can go up to get it, or she can simply come up. So that this stuff will be eliminated. Okay, so when we go up to get it, intercept the ball to their hairline versus letting it get to the right. Did that answer your question here? Other questions about setting? We have a little bit about running an offense next. When we're running the offense, yep, go ahead.
How many reps are you doing
the question was, how many reps are we going to do when they're in some of these drills? It really depends on what you have time for in practice. Last year, my setters spent half of the practice setting. They needed to work. They need to work on setting. Okay, and I will give them up for the entire half of practice. I will have them not pass. I will have them not attack. Okay, I will have them not play defense because setting is extraordinarily important. If we can't deliver a hittable ball, we can't do anything. So I would separate them, and I would have either I would go with them, or my assistant coach would go with them, or with the 18. Sometimes they were on their own. They knew what drill they were doing, and they had a goal and how many they had to do. Speaking of that, the setter's job, like their job, is to make their hitter successful. That's what the setter is out there to do. Whatever that is, they have to do it. So the first thing with making your hitter successful is you have to deliver a hittable ball. You gotta be able to hit it every single time. If it doesn't have tempo, it's not gonna be hittable. So you gotta set the goal. Okay? Then after that, it's all becomes decision making. And that's what we're gonna talk about next. Okay, so when we're in serve receive, when we receive a free ball, when we receive a down ball, 90% of the time, the defense is ready for us. Their blockers are on the net, middle's in the middle, right's on the right, left's on the left, and the blockers are ready. Okay, so what we do as a setter is we set opposite the flow of the game. Okay, so when the defense is ready, opposite of the flow of the game means this. I'm moving forward. That means my middle blocker is probably moving with me, okay, because they're relatively smart. So then I set the ball back. Okay, because I'm moving this way, we're going to set the ball out. Middle blocker is moving with me, now she's out of position, we'll be successful. Moving back, same thing. Move back, middle blocker has to come with me, set the ball out. Okay? So that's when the defense is ready. It's dependent upon where the center is moving. Center moves forward, set back, set forward. Okay? When the defense is not ready, okay, so when they attack at us, okay, basically their entire team is covering, theoretically, okay, and they're all bunched up right by that attacker. What we do is we send the ball the other way as fast as we possibly can. So let's demonstrate on here for a second. Go pretend, Janae, like you're hitting like your left side, okay? You're my middle. You're your left side. So what we're gonna do, you come up, walking together, we go up, Janae hits, she attacks from this side, everyone's here, correct? What my middle must do is get off the net and go to A. You know the alphabet? A. Oh, there we go. You have A's over there. Okay? If you can remember the alphabet in yours, you'll know where to go. Okay? So she would go to the A because it's as far away as we can, as fast as we can. And then it will not matter where your center is. So let's say that your center is running forward on the skid. Okay, they're still covering, it doesn't matter, they're still getting back into position. We want to attack as fast as we can from this side of the court. If my middle isn't there, let's say she fell down. Awesome. I would set the ball high outside to my one. Okay, because again, it stretches them and makes them have to play across the entire court. You were just covering, now they have to get all the way out there and play defense. Okay, so that's the other type of setting against the flow of the game. Okay, it's when your opponent is not ready. Okay, sometimes they're not ready. Let's say they shake the ball over on one or whatever, and their blockers didn't get up to the net very fast. Well, yeah, you go really fast when you put the ball on the floor. Okay, when their blockers are not ready, that's the type that we use. We send it the other way as fast as we can. When the blockers are ready, serve, receive, free ball for the most part, down ball, that's when it's dependent on where your center is moving. And she sets it opposite the direction she's moving. Now all of that is well and good when you have hitters in every single position that can put the ball on the floor. Okay, if you do not, meaning you have two really, really good hitters, well, you can't hit the ball. Okay, those rules can kind of go away. When you're going to score a point, you just gotta dig, you give it to your best player that's gonna get a kill. You get a good pass on a free ball, you give it to your middle because they're better than the other team's middle. And that'll happen a lot. I mean, especially on our team last year, we were better than people in certain positions. So Sophie was better than almost every middle we played. So every opportunity that we got, we gave Sophie the ball. It didn't matter if they were ready or not. Okay, Sophie's gonna get a kill. So that stuff takes precedence over this, where you're really running like a balanced offensive system. All of your hitters can put the ball away, and we're just making everybody one-on-one or one-on-no-one. Okay? As far as running plays and that type of stuff, what I prefer is audible hitting, except in serve receive. Okay, so in serve receive, your center is going to tell everyone where they're hitting. Okay, they don't get a say. Okay, they can say, hey, can I hit a 1? And you'll be like, no, you're hitting a 3 because I'm doing this over on this side of the court. Okay, so the center is in charge in serve receive, also known as the coach sometimes. Okay, what I do with my 18s is by the end of the year, I want them running the offense, but at the beginning of the year, I'm going to run it a lot for them so they understand what decisions to make in certain situations. I can send plays in of things I want to run. Janae might be able to figure this one out if I go like this. You know what that means or no? 1, J, B. Okay, so the play we would run is 1JB, meaning our outside would hit the 1, our middle would go behind on a J. Before she goes on that J, that right side's coming in front for a B. It's a crossing play. Okay, and you can send plays in like that with hand signals, and then what I would do if I were Janae's coach, I'd also tell her to set on a perfect pass. Okay, so let's say I want to run 1BC. What this play does, it draws rear blockers into the middle of the court. Okay, because both of my right side and my middle are going fast, which means I want to set the ball outside. So I'm going to say 1BC1, set the 1. Alright, so we can do that with the setters, and then hopefully by the end of the year, they're going to be able to make those decisions for themselves. We'll have to call less plays during the course of the game. Other questions about setting, running an offense, serve receive patterns. Setter is in charge. If you want serve receive change because you want your hitters to hit something else, setters need to change it. Okay, so setters have to understand not just the patterns themselves, but they have to understand the rules. Okay, so if I am in rotation 1, I'm your left side hitter, correct? Yeah. Okay, so she's here. This is great, but let's say that we're really struggling offensively and I'm the best player and our serve receive is terrible. What I might do is I might say, go pass on the left side. So I would go over here and shift over. She'd still stay behind me. This is still legal, obviously. She needs to be the one to call that play. And then these guys need to know what they're hitting. So we have a middle and a right side over here. Okay? So the setter has to understand that stuff to be able to make those changes. Other questions? Setting. Running an offense. Okay, let's take a break. 5 minutes.